Hey, welcome to an episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. Just got back from my trip to upstate New York, back where I used to live. Actually hit my old beer store, Brew Crew or Westmere Beverage. I found this gem from the now closed and the only American Trappist brewery ever, Spencer Trappist Imperial Stout. It's 8.7 ABV. It says best before November of 24. So I don't know if that's 2 years out. It has to be 3 years out because they closed in 2022. So yeah, they've been closed for about a year, a little over a year, which is sad to say. All right, so let's get into the tulip glass. Actually, this is considered like a Belgian glass, which is, there's no Belgian stout style, but let's see what the American monks can do with it. So you can see it pours, very inky black. Get a 2-3 finger, kind of a brown, light brown foam. It's still hanging around. Let's give it a whiff. Yeah, that definitely smells like a Russian Imperial Stout. All the classic hallmarks. So yeah, I would say black licorice, real dark chocolate, not sweet milk chocolate. Little alcohol, little kind of slightly rum, slight kind of vanilla kind of character. Raisin, definitely kind of a raisin or fig, some kind of dried fruit in there. But yeah, it's big roasted malt in there. It smells a lot like, like Stone IRS or just so many other beers that call themselves Russian Imperial Stout. Or maybe like a Baltic Porter, but more like the Russian Imperial Stout. So there's only a few bottles of these left in the world. So let's see what this one tastes like. Cheers. So I will say this is remarkably fruity for an Imperial Stout, which is, I guess it shouldn't be that surprising because I was saying, raisin and fig and all that stuff on the nose. But I also, on the nose, I got a lot of roast and chocolate. I really don't get roast and chocolate so much in the flavor. So, like up front, definitely, quite raisiny, fig, almost, I think there might be a little bit of cherry kind of flavor in there. Just like in the background is like that deeply roasted malt flavor. I wouldn't compare it to coffee. It's like there's a difference between the actual roasted malt and coffee. This is actually bottle conditioned, and I left a little bit in there. Although there's no yeast cake on the bottom of the bottle. In fact, it looks pretty clean. So might as well dump it in there. Let's see what happens. I probably already poured. If there was yeast in there, I probably poured it in. I think I actually improved it a little. Got a little bit more bitter with those last few drops there. All right, yeah. So, solid 2-spec, just American Imperial Stout. Not quite as crunchy as some of like the better examples of the style. I prefer the stouts that are more like on the roasty, chocolatey coffee side, but a lot of times you can get, like beers like this, where it's more just like really dark fruit. Mouthfeel on here is, oddly enough, I'd probably call it like medium full. I don't think I'd go as far as to say straight up full. It's definitely got a, sort of viscosity to it. Actual texture is quite smooth, bordering on creamy. Carbonation is probably about moderately low, which probably kind of enhances that smoothness, that creaminess. In fact, I might even go as far as to say it's just straight up a low carbonation. So like it finishes with a brief hop, slight kind of pininess, but also cherry, almost like kind of like a blueberry almost kind of flavor, and kind of like a little bit of like dark chocolate. This aftertaste in my mouth, it's, I guess I'd probably call it sweet. Yeah, it is, it's kind of like a confectionery kind of thing. A malty aftertaste, let's say. It certainly doesn't finish clean. That being said, Spencer American Imperial Trappist Imperial Stout. This is, really interesting product. I would have liked to have tried it fresh. I don't think this is aged super well. It is only 8.7, which by most American Imperial Stouts that's like light. It's like a session beer. But you know, I mean, it's cellared, quote unquote cellared, pretty nicely, I guess. So as far as the score for the Spencer Trappist Imperial Stout, it's good. It's not great, but it's not bad at all. I think this is like a 3.75, maybe 4. I really couldn't go higher than 4 out of 5 on this one. I think it's just there's something, you know, kind of a little off, like the age of the bottle or, you know, heat damage, something like that. Slightly oxidized, but I will say, like, the drinkability on it is really nice. Like, you're not gonna have any problem throwing this down. Only a little alcohol presence, but like it is not burning, or it's not even hardly even warming for that matter. But you know, so it's really smooth, really drinkable. I think like the mouthfeel is like, to me, the mouthfeel is like a little thin and undercarbonated, but otherwise, you know, to spec. So yeah, probably about 3.75. But as always, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Untappd. I do tweak my review like a quarter or even a half star between now and then. So if you watch all the way in, you know you're awesome. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys for Tuesday Night Beer School. Cheers.
Somebody brewed it, Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Reviews. Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.